Guess what out there? You're listening to a Jew. I really pulled one over on you. L'chaim. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Pop Culture.
You know, I'm just gonna cut that one part and put it right in the front.
Oh my God.
That's what we call a cold open here in the business.
Cold as ice. Yeah. Oh my God. Anyway, this is Pop Culture. I'm Brian Lint.
I'm Jonathan Dwan.
And returning
guest, friend of the show, and resident cola expert,
Ian Murphy.
Yep, he came back again. He left for a week and came back at the same time he left last week.
They thought they got rid of me, but I was just waiting in them bushes.
Yep, not waiting in our kitchen as we talked for a couple minutes between recordings. That totally didn't happen.
I played the long game.
Oh yeah.
We never record in bulk. Each one of these is recorded.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as Brian said last episode, 2 hours before upload.
Yep.
Even though it takes like over 2 hours to render a video. Which, I mean...
We rendered as we talked. Don't ask how.
That's one of my...
Trade secret.
What I was actually thinking of doing is just screw Audacity and use OBS.
Mm-hmm.
So I could have in the background one screen the looping video we have while audio gets recorded, and it'll automatically be compiled into a video ready for upload.
Interesting.
But I'm not too familiar with OBS, so...
Me neither, unfortunately. I've used XSplit or something briefly for Twitch streaming. Like 2 times I played FTL, and the one time I played My Boyfriend 2.
My Boyfriend 2?
It's technically, this says My Boyfriend, but the game, when you look it up, is called My Boyfriend 2. I got it for...
The number 2? T-O-O?
The number 2,
okay.
as in it's the sequel. I bought that game, it was listed for 99 cents in the discount bin at Micro Center. They charged me a penny.
Did they?
Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with it. They charged me a penny. I got 3 games for 3 cents. My Boyfriend, X3, and the Immortal Terran, whatever. It was some game I never heard of that didn't even load. But yeah, I have a really great game for just playing with people. My Boyfriend. Anyway, that's a topic for...
We're about soda, right?
Yeah.
And we've got a real interesting one here that Ian, our guest, is the only one who has any knowledge of or experience with.
It's a real humdinger.
This is Dr. Brown's original Celery. That's CEL.RAY.
Celery soda with other natural flavors.
Interesting. Now, for those of you out here, I don't know how much is getting edited around, but this is not to take any statement on any side whatsoever. This is a classic Jewish deli soda. Anywhere you can get a good bagel with cream cheese and lox, you can find Dr. Brown's of some flavor in their fridge. I dated somebody of Jewish heritage and faith, and they showed me all the delis, and yes, you can get Doc Brown's at any one of them.
And to counteract this Zionist soda, next episode we will have a classic Palestinian beverage. We, on the Pop Culture Podcast, the Soda Boys, take no stance pro or against Palestine or Israel.
Completely neutral.
The hottest of takes.
We're unbiased as to whether or not any repatriation or 2-state solution should be achieved. There is no opinion on that.
You're just vehemently anti-nukes.
Yes, we are.
And we're pro-soda.
In fact, we are pro 5-state solution.
We should break it up even more. Don't ask how.
Nothing could go wrong.
All right, so before we get started on cracking open these bad boys, let's just take a look at the packaging.
Absolutely.
It's all green all around. You can see
green bottle.
Green label. This was a mistake. It's gotten dark in the recording room.
There's no light here, is there?
Yeah, there's none.
Anyway,
well, I mean, technically there is.
We can see enough to discuss.
Hang on.
Second
time in a row where someone's getting up.
Well, our producer and co-host gets a lighting situation. Oh boy.
Okay.
Nice bare exposed CFL bulb here.
Yep. Okay. Well,
at least it's not incandescent.
At least it's not. Okay.
The best production values.
Okay.
Right here.
So I wish you could see this.
Just for those of you who are listening to the audio version, well, I mean, there's only an audio version.
There's no video.
I'm literally holding a lamp
I can hold the bottle if you want.
Thank you. I'm literally holding a lamp for my co-hosts so they may examine the bottle.
Yeah. Now I want to make a few statements. This is the, let's see, I'm not sure exactly what I'm looking at, but this is Dr. Brown's original celery. There is a paper label across it. Mine is ripped. It was just ripped before I got it, and it's starting to come off. From
mine's a little
condensation.
water damaged, but
Yeah.
that's
It's
fine.
all the condensation. It's
But
too
it's
hot in here.
Yeah, it's a matte green backdrop which has in a slightly darker green an image of a city skyline.
It's
not sure.
it's New York, I
Yeah, it
believe.
looks-
Not
That's
to be
the-
confused with the game City
That's like
Skyline
the Chrysler Building.
for Xbox One and PC.
Yeah, but
Of course
yeah,
not.
it looks. It could be the Chrysler Building. I can't
I'm not
tell.
entirely familiar with the New York skyline, or if this is even like a modern day New York skyline.
Yeah.
It's probably not.
If
No
anyone-
World Trade Centers.
No.
If anyone wants to correct us,
Feel free to comment on this web page and surprise all of us.
The bottle cap is also nice.
Yeah,
It
leave a
shows,
comment,
yeah.
like, and subscribe. Don't
Yeah,
forget
it has Dr. Brown.
Oh, you know
original
what?
celery.
You know what? I'm sure this is New York now because the little inset under where it says Dr. Brown's shows a black and white image of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yes, with some.
It says Brooklyn Bridge.
It has some old tiny people walking across it,
Yeah.
and that is actually replicated on the bottle cap itself.
It
if
is
you look
indeed.
at it.
That is
It
a
is
nice
indeed.
bottle cap.
Yeah.
I like this bottle cap. I am going to be happy. to have
Dr.
this
Brown's has the same bottle cap for all of them. This one has the most celery, actually has it printed
Yeah.
on here, but the
original
image
celery.
the image of the picture is replicated very, very nicely on this bottle cap. Like there's a lot of detail. It does get a little more blurry at the bottom.
I
but
don't think
it's
you
pretty
can.
good.
Well, you can actually read the words Brooklyn Bridge if you look really close.
Yeah, it's very, everything's nicely replicated. You know, all of it's very nicely presented. You can read everything.
And it's twist off, so you don't have to damage your bottle cap too.
Of course.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm gonna go ahead and twist off mine.
Are we done examining
Alright.
the bottle? I'd like
Yes.
to put this
I
down.
believe we are. Yeah, we're gonna turn the light
All
off.
right.
Ah,
So shall we be opening this?
Oh, nice.
you gotta do it near the microphone, you fool.
Sorry.
Oh man, my hand is just gonna get real close here. Oh, that was real quiet, but
Yeah,
it
I think you
kind
muffled
of
it.
popped a bit. Yeah.
Alright,
This one was pretty loud though. So.
yeah.
So
We're pouring this one out into
We
cups.
have two
I was
bottles.
such a surprised guest they did not have enough sodas for.
Well,
Well,
we
we
did
should've.
have enough.
We should have.
Just
Funny story.
Due to
Let's just get all this poured first.
For anyone curious as to what color exactly the bottle is,
wait, so how well have we been?
I'm going. I guess let's pour it to the top of the divot for solo, and then we can distribute after that. Here, I've got some more in mind.
Distributing the magic that is celery.
Alright.
Gotta make this scientific, guys. Gotta break out those beakers.
A little more there.
Ooh, that smell.
There.
That brings
I
me
think
back.
That's as even as we're
Yeah.
gonna get. Yeah. So.
Oh, wow.
Tell us why we only have 2 bottles for 3 people.
So, in the fridge, Del Rey bottle looks a lot like a Heineken bottle.
Yep. Same
First
green
glance.
glass.
So someone who will not be named
Yep.
grabbed one of our Celery bottles thinking it was a Heineken and had one late at night.
Whoops.
So,
I bet they were in for a real surprise because I just took a whiff of this and it does not smell like Heineken.
it's not. It has. If I didn't know better, I'd say that's apple.
You know what? You're not entirely wrong. I think you're on.
There's definitely like a garden produce smell to
Yeah.
it.
I'm gonna venture a sip here, a nice chilled sip.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah.
I
that
feel
is-
like I've tasted this before, but not at the same time. Yeah, the apple. I'm getting more of the apple.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, off microphone, I was warned by Ian that the real taste kind of creeps up on you, and you know what? You can get it. This-
Okay,
this
clearly I'm not having it.
it's real subtle. It's real subtle.
Oh yeah, that does have that apple initial.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's not exactly apple. It's like slightly fermented apple.
Are you talking
Yeah,
about wait?
That's
Oh,
the first
whoa.
the first taste. is what I'm talking about.
Oh. It's kind of
It's okay. So
happening
you can tell that the two of us who have the more, I don't want to say refined, but the more experienced soda palate are really picking up on this. If you aren't an experienced,
Wait, are you talking about that slight mellowing out and it's a bit?
Yep, mellows out. You get about 3 or 4 seconds of not that, and then something else kicks in.
Yeah,
A little bit.
It was actually much stronger. So for folks at home, we poured these out. When I had it straight from bottle, I think it was a stronger asparagus taste when I first had it.
Or celery, you mean, correct? Yeah.
I keep.
If you hear asparagus at any point, we probably mean celery.
That is my bad. I like asparagus way more actually, so I want to eat it, but that celery tastes a little bit stronger from what I remember.
It's probably been diluted a little from the ice.
Yeah, that muted bitterness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bit of bitterness.
I'm not. No, I think this is fine. I like this.
It's not bad. It's just this is really unusual.
If you don't want it, I'll take it. I can drink this.
I think this might be one of those things where I'll just leave a bit and you just gobble it up right afterwards. Ooh.
Honestly, I'm
not mad at it.
You can probably already hear just the marks going down across.
It's here's the thing. It's not bad. Outright bad. I kind of enjoy it, but it's so different. That's what the sound is me trying to comprehend what it is I just tasted.
What you hear me is me in pain though.
It's okay. So like I said, the initial sweetness, it's almost apple-ish, but fermented a bit,
fermented green apple kind of thing.
Fermented green apple would probably be the words I'd use.
Yeah, muted. That's what I'm tasting. A muted green apple soda.
Yeah,
I really like this.
It's I'm on the fence.
I think I'm starting to. Oh yeah. I definitely know what you guys are talking about, but.
Oh yeah, you're getting it now.
It goes up and down with every sip. It's so surreal.
It does not bother me.
I mean that's fine.
I like this. I don't know what to say. I think we're gonna have a lot of disagreements on this.
This is gonna be a heavy debate one.
I feel like I'm literally in the middle because every sip I take, I'll take a sip and I like it, and I take another sip and I don't like it, and then I take another sip and I like it, and it changes every sip on me.
For those of you who hated the consensus that we got last week,
this is not gonna be anything like that.
I like this.
I can understand both of your opinions right now.
It's a very muted flavor. It you're right. It's subtle and it does yo-yo, being more noticeable and less noticeable as the sips go on.
I do not. Let's see. I want to say this is very different from the Fentiman's weird flavor. That was crazy subtle in how they put it together. This is a little more. The initial flavor is way more in your face, but the changes in it are really subtle. If you were drinking this fast, you probably wouldn't even notice.
Yeah, if you chugged this thing, you'd probably experience the good sort of the green apple-ish sort of fruity taste in the beginning.
Yeah, and then you notice that cough syrup-esque flavor in the back of your throat.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't. Oh, yeah. Now I'm feeling that.
Yeah.
I have not noticed that one actually.
My saliva's getting
not
thick.
Yet. This is a really interesting one.
Oh, hey, here's one random fact. This is bottled under the authority of Canada Dry.
Huh.
I did not know that. Let me take
Wait, does that mean this is a Canuck soda?
No, it's made in New York actually. Bottling Point, New York. College. Wow, I can't read. College Point, New York. Yeah,
it's pretty dark in here.
This is. I couldn't tell from tasting it, but this is a high fructose corn syrup sweetened soda. I don't believe it doesn't look like there's actual sugar in it.
The sweetness does not have that kick that most.
And it does have the smoothness of corn syrup.
Yeah,
smoothness, but a little sticky. Not as cane sugar is obviously stickier, but there's a little stickiness. That stickiness might just come from something else here. Okay, I'm just gonna read off the ingredients because I kind of like these. So
that was good. I'd finish mine.
Nice. We've already got carbonated water.
I like
of course.
that.
We already have one person done. One person most of the way through. One person.
That's crazy. Yeah, but
I really like that. I'll be honest.
Nice. Okay, so we got carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, citric acid. Here's where it gets weird. Extract of celery seed with other natural flavors.
Yep, there's that celery taste.
Sodium benzoate for preservative and caramel color, which is weird because
it's mostly clear, I believe.
Clearish green, but I guess it would be even more clear without the color.
To be fair, we are in a more darkened green right now, so
it's. I brought this up before. It's killing me that they don't list what all the natural flavors are because there's something other than celery in this, and I want to know what it is.
Yeah, but I think they just do that to keep recipes.
Yeah,
as trade secrets.
Well, also they legally don't have to.
Yeah,
it's in small enough amounts. So.
Yep. Again, one of these days, I'd love to do an interview with someone who makes soda, and even if they can't spill the beans on what's actually in it, I want to just get someone's thoughts from the other side of this.
Oh, you got the interview with that one guy from DC?
I I have to follow up with him again because it's been over a year since I first got in contact with him. Assuming everything's still good with his business. I know they potentially there was some legal battle with Monster, but that was like 2 or 3 years ago. I think they came out on top, I believe, because the website did not go down.
All right. Was it still up? Can we still purchase product?
I'll check. I think you can.
We need to be patrons of our local soda breweries.
Absolutely. Actually,
lest we want the craft to die.
Yeah. Now I can't speak for if this is still active now, but for a while he was someone that you could get root beer by the keg from.
Whoa.
You could get a full size keg of root beer for $100 for like a party event. The only other manufacturer that does this is Virgil's, and they make a mini keg for parties that you can keep. This one, he actually like gives you a keg, and you got to give it back to him. But yeah, you can get.
Well, how does he make sure you give it back to him?
There's like a security deposit on it, so you don't have to give it back.
Oh,
but if you want your deposit back, you got to give it back. But yeah, this is Thunder Beast. For those of you who don't know, I'm talking about Thunder Beast root beer, which was described by an uncle of mine as molasses and ashtray, but I really enjoy it. Anyway, but going back to the Celery by Dr. Brown's here. I still don't know what the fuck I'm drinking. This is insane.
I mean, I don't think it tastes anything like celery.
No, we should point out that it really doesn't. Maybe if you put celery through a blender and concentrate
it has the crispness of celery.
Yeah.
It's a nice light drink.
Yeah. If you had to drink something that made you feel the way eating a stalk of celery does, this would do it.
Yeah.
They succeeded.
I can actually more taste the celery, I think. It's a little bit more standout, especially in that bitterness toward the end of the flavor as it gets there.
Okay, like the very end does resemble celery. But I think the initial flavor is something else.
Yeah, it's like a very muted apple flavor.
Yeah.
That muted apple flavor I do not remember, actually. When I first drank the soda, I did not... It was weird. It did not have this apple flavor. I actually just got kind of like a mild... like nothing taste, and then I got the celery.
How long ago did you drink this one?
I drunk this one about 6 to 8 months ago, maybe a little bit more.
All right, so you already had all your expertise basically.
It was one of those ones where I saw it at like Ace, and like that's a weird flavor. It's celery. I'm gonna try it, and it tasted like celery. I didn't know what to expect.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm gonna start putting numbers out here now. For flavor,
the most interesting part is just
I am extremely torn here because I enjoy things that are unusual, whether they're good or bad. If it's unusual, I tend to give it additional points for that. So I'm keep that in mind when I give this a score. If it seems higher than what I'm talking about, it's because the novelty of it to me is a pleasant thing. But this is incredibly middle of the road for me. Not at all because it's plain, but because like the part of me that's analyzing the flavor wants to go down, but the part of me that enjoys what it is wants it to go up. So I'm gonna probably give this. Okay, the novelty I think bumps it up to a low 6 for me. I was thinking a 5, but I do enjoy the flavor somewhat. There is a lot of flavor variety in there.
Well, that's not an issue.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go.
Much stuff there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go with a low 6 on this one.
I'm gonna go with a 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this right. I'm gonna say this right now.
Yeah.
I think this is a Route 66 Lime, but just for a different flavor profile.
Okay.
This I'm gonna be drawing a lot of parallels because it has a lot of similarities. I'm going to give it a very low flavor score.
Okay.
But the drinkability score is going to be very high for this one. I'm telling you that right now.
Interesting.
Because, yeah, I mean, it's a muted green apple. It's not very strong.
Yeah.
And then you get that weird feeling in the back of your throat, very bitter, heavy, almost cough medicine-like. It just doesn't do it for me. They don't mesh well, and it just kind of comes out of nowhere.
I agree with that. And again, if it weren't for the fact that I have this personal bias towards novel flavors, I would be giving this a 5. Just straight up. It's average. I think 4 would probably be a little low for me because I've drank things that taste worse than this or are way less interesting than this. because I think interest is as important as actually how good it tastes for me personally. So I agree with you, but I'm going to keep my very low 6. Now, Ian, you're the one who's drank this twice. I want to know what you think about it second time around.
Second time around, it's, I don't know, it's very different. I actually did get something different from what I experienced the first time. It's not that better, though. The first time around, I got basically nothing, and then the celery, which I would actually rate a little bit higher, because then that's just far more harder on that distinctive celery flavor. That made it stand out in my mind. I will always remember it, even though I didn't like it. It was strong. It had itself an identity. This feels a little bit way more different. Like, it does start off with that sort of like green apple-ish taste that we always been talking about in the beginning, which I did not experience the first time. Now that makes it like, oh, now it's a little bit more tart in the beginning. And while I do like tart flavors, that thing doesn't last for long, and that little bit of sweetness kicked in by some of the higher amounts of sugar that this soda apparently has. Like, this is not a sweet soda, but it actually has like about 34 grams of sugar or so. It's pretty high on that. So it's like, it's sweeter than it should be, I think. And then there's kind of like a step transition, and then it hits kind of like that. Oh, there's that celery, that kind of bitter vegetable taste that just was like, not a fan of. It just kind of goes from one flavor to just a flavor that I just cannot stand and just will not keep in that long. I'm going to go with I'm going with a 2 on this one.
A 2.
A 2. I am just not.
That's the lowest score we've ever given
I
anything.
believe that is the lowest score that's ever been given out
Nothing.
for anything.
I think the
Podcast
record
first, very low score. It is a heavy personal thing, but that's how taste sometimes goes.
That's how this works.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he was saying sugar there. I just checked 34 grams in there. That's a lot. I just realized, there's the flavor switch. If they had reversed the flavors in this with the slightly bitter forwardness that fades to sweet, I probably would genuinely enjoy this as a flavor.
If it went from bitter to tart, I would appreciate it far more.
Bitter tart with a sweet finish, and this would be amongst one of my favorite refreshing drinks.
It would be an interesting drink. I would say
it's like they played this drink backwards. To me, it's like they played it backwards.
They did not find this hidden satanic rich. They didn't find the hidden satanic words though. They just found garbage.
They found them in reverse.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I was the middle of the road, and I gave it an above average, barely. And then the person who
you even said that's because you like the weirder aspect of this.
Yeah, that's
so you're saying that might even push it up a bit more. So this one's definitely on the lower end.
If celery was a normal drink, if there were like a dozen different brands making celery flavored soda, then this probably would have been a perfect 5 because it would have this tastes like something that would be in the middle of the road. I don't know. Maybe someone out there has executed a far better celery soda that actually tastes like celery but isn't
Lester
bitter.
Fixin' celery soda with ranch.
Oh god!
Coming up next.
No,
Next week.
no.
We gotta mix this with the ranch. See how it is. We gotta find out if there's a peanut butter soda and then dip raisins.
I would drink
in it.
nothing but that.
And some,
Ants on a log soda.
if you do like peanut butter, I have some peanut butter Oreos.
Oh my gosh.
We can bring those in here if we need like a palate. No, that's not.
If I need more sugar in my life.
That's a terrible palate cleanser. I just realized.
It's a palate clogger.
At least it isn't the cola Oreos.
Oh.
I actually hot take. I actually enjoyed those, but again, it's because they were weird and they had Pop Rocks in them.
Oh wait, I got the 4th of July Oreos. I haven't opened with the Pop Rock candy in them.
Yeah.
I've yet to try them.
They reminded me of there was a cherry cola Tic Tac that was actually really good.
Your brother got them.
Yeah, I don't know if you tried any, but they're one of my favorite flavors.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's our flavors. It's across the board, and they go directly into drinkability.
We're not doing the. What was the second one we did?
The second one is
drinkability, right.
drinkability. Yeah, we're going right back into drinkability now because as you heard, Jonathan's got something to say. I've kind of got stuff to say. Probably agreeing with Jonathan here because this is crisp as hell. This is. I mean, we're drinking it chilled as you really should because it's a refreshing soda, but it is real crisp. This is not like a muted flavor at first. The muted flavor comes after. There is layering in this. Whether or not it's essentially good, or as I stated earlier, in the correct order, that's to be questioned. But there is layering. There is complexity to this. The reason I'm still drinking it is because I want to get to the bottom of this. That's why I haven't just chugged it back. I'm just like sipping on this, trying to pick out more just palate things in here. It's just crazy. there was some other soda I was really confused in this. I think it might have been Fentimans. Fentimans. This is very different from Fentimans, but I have the same reaction. I don't know what the fuck it is I'm drinking, but it goes down easy, and there's a lot there to dissect. It makes me want to keep going at it. So drinkability, I'm gonna give another 6. I'm gonna give another 6 to this one. This is probably a higher 6. Actually, you know what? No, this is gonna get a 7 from me. This is it's not sitting all that poorly in my stomach. My stomach is not all that empty, but it's not sitting horribly in there. And other than the flavor, I'm not regretting drinking it. So low 7. That's my take.
I gotta give this one an 8, an easy 8, because despite the heavy after flavor of the drink, it's surprisingly light. I mean, how I rate drinkability is how close it is to water, and this is basically carbonated flavor water.
Wait, are we on drinkability or flavor and balance? Did we skip drink? We skipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, you skipped flavor.
Yeah, that's what
Skip,
he.
no.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I was gonna talk about that.
We'll do that. We'll do that.
It doesn't matter what
We'll do
order
that.
we do it.
We'll do that third then.
We're
mixing it up.
Breaking protocol on this one.
We've already
We ain't
given,
robots.
You know, it's so many firsts, so many first deviations, so many. Our first 2. Our first statement about the Israel-Palestinian conflict.
Not for or against.
Yep.
We are neutral.
Absolutely. Anyway, drinkability.
Yeah, drinkability.
From
sorry to skip you around on that. But drinkability.
Oh, I was still going, bro.
It's him. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God damn it!
Cut me off.
I'm so sorry. Yeah,
Damn,
keep
Brian.
going.
This is
Keep
the
going.
second week you have not slept enough. You just gotta go to sleep sometimes, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think we pulled you out of cryo sleep a little bit too early.
Yep.
You know, little known fact, we just have Brian on preserve.
Basically, I have no life.
Yeah, once we stop recording, we usher him back into the cryo tube and seal it up, set the timer for a week, and take him back out.
That's how it works.
That's how it works.
Normally it's pretty good. This one, there must have been something wrong with it this time.
Yeah, we'll have to get the technicians back to check to see what went wrong. But
8 drinkability, eh?
Yeah, I gotta say it's 8. I rate it on how close it is to water, and this is very drinkable.
Oh, if you're going by that, water would.
Yeah, water is
10,
like a
right?
perfect 10.
Yeah.
And then everything's just going to be deviations lower.
What would your
So soda is objectively worse than water, then.
Yeah, no.
Nothing can be a 10 by that scale. But
yeah.
I guess if you're weighting it, 10 is the closest you can be to water, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flat Sprite.
Wait. How about
Uncarbonated seltzer water?
I was gonna say flat LaCroix.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
That's basically bitter water at that point, right?
It's water that someone burped a fruit flavor into.
Yeah. It's terrible. I hate it. No, but yeah, it's very close to the drinkability of water. I feel like its lack of flavor, just like what I said about Route 66 Lime, lends to that. It's not heavy and imposing, and it just kind of goes right through you.
Nice.
All right, and Ian?
I'm actually going to rate this highly on drinkability. The taste is the biggest thing for me, but everything else about this soda is constructed very well. Like, it's got a very nice light fizz. The Coke we had last week, it was very fizzy, very burpy. This one's just, got a mild little bit to add a little bit of spice to that, a little bit of bubbliness to your mouth. But, as my co-host said, it went down smooth. It doesn't sit heavy in your stomach. You can drink it with basically anything as long as you don't mind the taste kind of shuffling in there and kind of screwing up some of the other things. If this was like any kind of other flavor, I'd be like, this would be a good soda to have like at a dinner or with a lunch. It's kind of a nice little companion piece to an otherwise well-rounded meal.
I would agree with that. This is a good pairing soda.
Oh, also, one thing, the smell is kind of overwhelming in these cups, at least, that we're drinking from.
Yes.
You can very smell heavily that produce.
Might want to drink this
fruity
one from the
taste,
bottle.
yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with all those statements that you guys were making. I put mine to a higher 7. It's still a 7 for me, but it's a high 7. I guess that leads us into the smoothness and balance, because I accidentally kind of combined and skipped over that one. Mine is going to be below average, because here's the thing, there is complexity to it, but it is not at all what I'd call smooth.
Did you get that?
Oh, yeah, I will get that after. If she knows that if I don't answer it, then I'm unavailable. Anyway, yeah, it is not what I would call smooth. It's very rough. There's a lot there, but that doesn't mean it's a good thing. It's. I'd probably give this at best a 4, maybe a 3 even. But I think it's not the most offensive thing I've ever drank. But it's got the fact that there was so much potential, and it didn't quite make it is disappointing. So I'm gonna go with a 4 on this.
I'm just gonna give it a 5.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're right about the balance. It's not very balanced.
No.
It's not at all. Heavily weighted till the aftertaste. But I feel like the... Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, now I'm starting to... I get what you guys are saying now more. No, but I feel like the smoothness makes up for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, again, it lends to my high drinkability score. I think that it kind of balances it out and makes it average.
I hear you. That's why it's not a 3 for me. But it wasn't enough to save it for me. But I do agree with that.
Ian?
I'm actually going to go something with a 5.
Mm-hmm.
The transition itself, just kind of weird. The two tastes don't really complement each other. I could tell that it wasn't like mixed terribly. It's just that from my perspective, the two tastes don't really complement each other well. So the mixing itself, the taste mixing itself is what really kind of offsets the balance here. Like you get that kind of tartness, and then it goes into more of a bitterness, which doesn't really complement each other in a flavor way when you drink it.
Yeah, you can tell that this is not... They didn't mess up with this. This is exactly how they wanted it to taste. We're just...
It's not a failure of execution. Yeah. It's a failure of kind of the concept.
Yeah.
From at least my perspective.
I agree with that completely. I was just considering what you're saying and how I feel about it. That's a really great way to put it up. Great execution of a terrible concept.
It's honestly, I wouldn't call the concept that bad.
No. I mean,
I really like it.
Yeah, the concept of a celery flavored soda is good. It's just their idea of making it this sweet thing with a bitter aftertaste, which they succeeded in doing. Isn't maybe the best thing ever. It could be better.
Trust us, there are far worse sodas you can be getting.
Yeah.
From this.
This is like kids V8.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
actually,
because this is a vegetable flavored thing that's slightly sweet, and it's celery. It'll appeal to kids because it's a soda, and unlike V8, it's not salty.
No.
Yeah, although I would actually rate V8 a little better than this, because V8 is mostly going to get you that vitamins and stuff.
Yeah.
And when you're drinking V8, you're getting all the different kind of fruit and veggie flavors, in kind of a mix. Meanwhile, here you just kind of get the two kind of not really meshing as well. V8 does have kind of a flavor issue, especially for some smaller palates like kids. It's just like, so much, all the things. Fruits and veggies always have flavors, and they always just kind of do whatever. That's why they're so hard to mix well.
Yeah.
I mean, but V8 and this would both be good mixers.
Oh, yeah.
I hear you.
You could theoretically make some kind of ridiculous drink with this.
I feel like
with this as a base. You could definitely take the negatives that I've talked about, turn it into a positive with something.
It has an odd enough flavor where I think it could do well. And
kind of like
do you
how
step outside to take it?
Yeah, I'll be right back.
This out.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Oh no, but this is going to be a rough cut.
Yeah, my apologies. The weather was taking a turn for the worst, and my girlfriend wanted to make sure I was all right. So I had to take that.
This is going to be the roughest cut. I'm not even going to try. It's just going to...
Zero editing. You're going to hear that cut. It's going to be amazing.
The foreskin was removed forcibly.
Oh no.
Jewish sodas, Jewish jokes. That's your one. There we go. But anyway.
Now we got to balance it out with a Palestinian joke. Again, we have to remain neutral.
Oh no.
We can't afford to get tangled up in this.
Of course not.
No, this is New York Jew, not Israel Jew.
All right, fair enough.
So we gotta make a Philadelphia or a New Jersey Jew joke.
We gotta need to make a joke about every denomination but Israeli Jew.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. So what I was gonna start talking about before we got into our chapter, we talked about how it might be good as a mixed drink, and I actually very highly regard that. There's another soda out there called Cock and Bull, which is a very strong ginger beer.
It is really good.
It is really strong. It's good if you like drinking on your own, if you like those intensive flavors. But what they suggest you do is you mix it in with some vodka to get like a Russian mule going. And I think that would be the perfect thing for people who are not fans of this flavor on itself, is to try and find some way to mix it if you have some bottles of it lying around.
To go on a little tangent on the Cock and Bull, you introduced me to that about 2 months ago, give or take. 1 or 2 months ago?
It was in May, because that was before.
Okay,
June,
two months ago you introduced me to that, and I should state I am not a huge ginger beer fan. It's a little too sharp for me most of the time, but I drank the whole bottle. I thought it was actually really good, even though it was sharper than some I've had.
It's sharp and fiery. It is its own distinct, sharp, spicy brand.
But it's not just heat. There's flavor there, so I actually enjoyed it. So for anyone out there who, if you're in that weird niche like me, where you want to try all sodas, but ginger beer is too hot, but you want to try ginger beer, Cock and Bull is a good entry point.
It's good because it's the most you'll get out of it. But anyway, great mixer. This would also probably make a great mixer. I'm not a big mix. Well, I am a big mixed drinks guy, but I haven't mixed enough myself to actually find good flavors for it. If you find something, send it to us. I'll drink it and give you a thumbs up or thumbs down, whether or not it worked.
I want to try that myself. Yeah.
Maybe with like a liqueur, a flavored liqueur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some kind of thing.
I was thinking like something with some bite to it, just to cool it down. So maybe, either a liqueur or something really hard. One or the other would go well with this.
Definitely some kind of spirit.
I'm not too familiar with tequila, but I feel like maybe that might
perhaps.
Yeah.
If only we had enough of either thing to test it out. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
That's for the After Dark Soda Boys podcast.
I'm not allowed in the After Dark Soda Boys podcast. Not yet.
Not yet. When will you be allowed?
Next February.
Next February. There we go.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. You got the age of one of the Soda Boys.
Hey, but now's a good time to announce Soda Boys Europe, where the drinking age is 18.
I believe we have brought up your drinking experience at one point.
Yes. Yes.
I forget if that was on or off microphone.
It was on.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember.
We refer back to episode 4069, the tale of the flying pirate ship.
Oh my god! If we had 469 episodes, or 4069, that's 4,000.
Season 4, episode 69.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
Season 40. It's episode 29.
40. Oh my god.
4069.
Yeah.
40. Jeez.
Anyway, this is good. I finished mine a couple minutes ago. It's I guess we should at some point get around to putting a final score on
no,
this.
you must finish your drink, as is tradition.
Finish.
Oh god.
As is tradition.
There we go. He's going for it.
Ian's the only one who has not finished his drink, and he's the champion.
There we go.
The look on his face.
Okay, that's the only belch you'll get from me because this is actually not very.
The look on his face.
That aftertaste. That was a strong aftertaste.
Ooh.
It was even watered down a bit. Ooh.
So there you go. For those of you who really don't like celery, you have your statement from Ian.
You have your representation on this podcast.
You have representation of the man chugging his final bit.
But I guess that we're getting to the point where we should try and put a final score on this.
The final score of
it's really storming now.
The final score of God's coming down to smite me for hating celery, of course.
We're too divided, and he's trying to remind us that we should work together. Yeah,
just like Israel and Palestine.
That is neither for nor against either side.
We're just saying the two. We're just saying
God should come down and just mend this, and everybody would be happy, and then everybody would convert to the correct religion. I'm not saying what it is. I'm just stating the correct religion.
Yes.
We all know the one.
We refuse to say its name, but we all know.
It should be obvious.
Anyway, you're gonna get a lot of mixed numbers here in a few minutes.
No, you know what, Brian? I think all our scores are gonna be one number within each other.
Okay. I hear you. Actually, you're probably right, but for different reasons, I should think.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're all gonna weight this differently, and it's gonna make the same thing, which will show you how subjective our rating system is, and when you keep that in mind.
We're all gonna get different numbers, but come to the same conclusion. It's perfect.
Yeah. But anyway, so
subjectivity in your soda reviews.
I'm gonna rate mine more towards the flavor and drinkability on this, because the balance is something I can overlook if I'm eating something to probably cancel out the aftertaste. I'd say this is really refreshing. I don't mind the beginning taste at all. Actually, to call back to the last episode, this is another example of the flavor swing, just not quite as pleasant. Bring your taste buds,
as well done.
Bring your taste buds back to a week ago when we drank the Coke Peach.
Well, I mean, Coca-Cola's an institution.
Yeah, they've got it right.
They got it down to a science.
They know how to do
a literal science.
Yeah. Dr. Brown's, meanwhile, let's see if we've
They've been around for a while. If they're
1869, actually.
If their packaging is to be believed, they want to stick out their individuality out there
I don't know
with
how long
their flavors.
The Celery flavor has been around, but yeah, it's probably old. But yeah, so my final score, taking into account the drinkability and the flavor, the uniqueness of it, I'm probably gonna give this a 6. Because I rated, or is it maybe a 5? Actually, you know what? A 5. A really high 5. Barely below a 6, but I think the way I'm weighting it, it's going to end up to be a 5. It's my middle of the road soda.
Wow, that's what I was going to give it.
Wow, you were right.
Yeah.
So explain your weighting and reasoning there.
I mean, the flavor is nothing too special.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I feel like this is another Route 66 situation.
Yeah.
Where, had the flavor been stronger, I think drinkability would have gone down in this case. And drinkability is its best point. It's a very crisp soda. It's very refreshing. And I feel like that brings it up from the negatives of the flavor into a nice, respectable, a pretty good 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. What do we have now?
All right. So considering you two guys' scores, I'm actually going. I was going to be a little bit nicer. I was going to give it a 4, but now that I've heard the other two guys and I've kind of mulled it over, I'm bringing it down to a 3.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting.
I'm not. I kind of wanted to give it like a high 3, like 3.5 and a little bit higher, because I did kind of want to give it a 4, like a 4.0 directly, because I do not want to discount the fact that this is actually like a well-made soda, like from a company that knows how to make sodas. Like they've blended it nicely, and like the light fizziness and the other aspects of the drink that aren't directly the flavor just are actually good points, and will definitely be a thing that some people will be looking for in a drink. The flavor is what really sends it south for me. Flavor is almost always just like the biggest part of sodas for me. Just that taste. Some sodas I can like that don't have like any fizziness or whatever can just overwhelm me with great taste, and I'll be like, oh, great soda. But this one, it has that tartness in the beginning, which I do like, and then just kind of does a muddy transition into the more produce, bittery taste of the celery, and I'm like, ooh, not a fan of this, not a fan of it at all. I get that they were going for that, and I can respect them for that. It's just not what I want in a soda at all. It's still hammering my tongue every once in a while.
I'm gonna have to eat one of these peaches that we've left out for a week.
Yes, they've been out here sitting on the table for a week.
In perfect preservation. We should note that this room also enters cryostasis separately for an entire week.
Thank you, sir. That peach actually does help a lot.
Ron, do you like a peach?
Sure, I'll take a...
This peach reminds me of a much better soda than we did 1 week ago. Anyway, so...
I think I'm the only one who actually partook in a peach during the recording.
You did complain about that, though.
Well, I mean, after I finished the peach, I said I'd prefer the real peach more.
Yeah,
that's true. It's an actual real peach as opposed to the chemicals.
It's a more authentic peach.
Yeah.
Because this is a peach.
You can't beat nature.
Nope. Well, I mean, if you take a bulldozer and a rifle, you can, but...
I see. It's like when nature runs too rampant, like those goats on the Galapagos. You saw that like little YouTube video that's been going around?
I don't know if I have yet.
Like they're saying the goats were an invasive species, so they literally had to take helicopter gunships and start mowing them down by the thousands.
I'm pretty sure Australia would say hi.
Yeah, I think Australia.
They've both had war with rabbits and emus.
Here's the thing, though.
They lost the emu war.
We won the Galapagos War.
Yeah, they lost the emu war. We might have a totally 100% neutral take on Israel and Palestine, but we will have a hot take of Australia lost the fucking emu war. You guys suck. You can't kill big birds. They can't even fly.
Man,
Dude, it's really hard to kill emus apparently with bullets. Surprisingly enough.
Anyway, yeah. So you were saying the 3.5.
Yeah, it's like a 3.
All right.
It's
I
not
think
that good.
that might be our lowest final score for a soda so far.
Yeah.
That's it, guys. I'm the wild card.
Yep.
I'm the man who speaks truth.
We needed that, honestly. It was mostly just me and Jonathan agreeing over too
Well, I
many
mean,
things.
we've never had a bad soda.
Yeah, this is the closest we've come to a, like, in quotes, bad soda.
It's like-
You've
Yeah.
had one
It's
off,
only
like-
bad
Yeah.
because of the taste.
Yeah.
Everything else about the soda, if you listen back to me, I'm like, okay, it's fine. Whatever.
It's only bad because of its main selling point.
Yes. That's how subjective criticism works.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
everybody, all criticism is subjective. Shut up.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is pretty low. So I guess it's gonna make this next segment pretty easy, honestly.
The King of the Hill
King of the Hill.
Battle Royale.
No.
No.
Nope. Yeah.
So we're not even gonna discuss it. Just,
No, I don't think
I've
so.
not even had this. I
Oh,
might
yeah.
have had the soda they talked about. I just know it's better than this one.
Jonathan, if you can give a persuasive argument that this is better than Satsuma Fizz, I will agree with you on it.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean,
This is insubordination against the two people who actually own the podcast.
we didn't even tell who the reigning champion was. It was implied through speech, but Brian, who is the reigning champion?
Real
Satsuma
fans would know this
Fizz.
already.
It's
Yes.
it is Swamp Pop's Satsuma Fizz.
All right, and the challenger, Dr. Brown's Cell Ray Original.
Mm-hmm.
So, we already know what two people think. So I don't think me voicing my opinion really matters, although,
If you can convince me, I will change my vote.
well, I
We have a very sound argument, though.
don't have to convince you guys, because I agree with you. Satsuma Fizz is reigning champion for a reason. My god, the carnage left in its wake. I mean,
Grab that hill with both hands and it stayed up there.
This is the South rising again.
Take that, Ulysses S. Grant.
man, it's just a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Undefeatable.
Oh, I just ate some pit.
I think we will have to reset the King of the Hill for season 2.
Absolutely.
Or
this
else
is
Satsuma
broken.
Fizz. Yeah,
King of podcasts, Satsuma Fizz. 100 podcasts,
This
Satsuma
is,
Fizz.
this is the Satsuma
9
Fizz
seasons
podcast.
Satsuma Fizz.
This is the Satsuma Fizz podcast.
Oh my god! If
Where
we got
compare sodas to Satsuma Fizz.
man, I need a reason to buy more Satsuma Fizz.
Oh my god.
Wait,
yeah.
what are the rates at Ace Hardware?
Actually, right now, I don't know if this will be active when the episode goes up. Right now, they have a special 2 for $3 on all their mom and pop sodas.
Oh, man.
Satsuma Fizz included?
Yes, but I don't think I saw any there at the moment.
God damn it.
They have a rotating stock. Actually, I fucking laughed my ass off. There's this trope. Every time I go there, they have one bottle of Dominion sodas. I want to say it's Dominion sodas. Banana flavored soda, which I enjoy immensely. But every time I go, there is exactly one bottle. There are not 2 bottles or more, and there is never no bottles. But there is always one bottle of banana soda.
Is it the same bottle?
I've bought it a couple times, so it's not, but it is always one. And I checked the pre-mixed 6-packs, and I keep thinking there's one, but no, it's Dominion's Ginger Ale, which is the same bottle and a very similar color, but it's more yellow than orange. But they have there are a couple bananas flavored sodas out there. It's a weird niche flavor that I really enjoy, and Dominion one's pretty good. But there's always exactly one bottle, and I'm pretty sure the bottles are even smaller than normal. So I don't want to do a whole podcast with all of us drinking like 1/3 of a small bottle of this soda because it's broken. This is just a thing that pisses me off. There's always one goddamn bottle of
You
Dominion.
gotta go just 3 times.
Yeah, I gotta do that. I gotta start going and stocking up on this shit because it's there. Yeah, this is my rant. That's my rant. That is neither for or against the soda itself or the supplier or retailer. It's just at Twins Ace Hardware, they always have one bottle of Dominion banana soda.
Well, it's good to know about the 2 for $3.
Yeah.
Because on Swamp Pop's website, it's a bottle for $2 plus shipping and handling.
Oof. I mean,
So-
$2 for a craft bottle is pretty standard going in a brick and mortar retailer.
Mm-hmm.
There might be a little more, like some Virgil's drinks go for a little more because they're considered specialty, and obviously imported ones can go for as high as like $6, I think.
Yep.
But yeah, $2 is pretty standard, but the shipping, that's what's gonna get you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would suggest just checking them out because I didn't look too thoroughly, but I didn't see any when I was in there earlier last week.
Oh boy.
The Time Travel Podcast, the Soda Boys.
Oh my god, it's so hot. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, there we go. We're gonna
Yeah.
this out now.
Satsuma Fizz wins.
Satsuma
No
Fizz.
question. Should we just say Satsuma Fizz wins every week at this point? I mean,
I
That's
don't
the
wanna-
new intro. Satsuma Fins wins before we even try it.
Before we do sign off, I feel like I should remind everyone here that I lack the capabilities of burping just to fill up my
You're right, we
contractually
have-
obliged
The quota.
statement.
We
The
have
quota,
met.
telling you at least once, I can't burp. That wasn't an issue in this episode, but
Not that
I can't,
busy, so.
I can't burp. It's not
oh yeah,
busy
we
enough.
never brought it up.
I brought it up a little bit. That
My
it wasn't
official
busy.
my official statement on Dr. Brown's Celery Original Soda. It is not fizzy enough to trigger a burp response in me, but I am not capable of burping anyway.
Is that lightning?
Oh yeah, it was lightning, guys.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we're gonna have to sign off because we're gonna fucking get struck by lightning soon.
Yeah.
It's my hubris for scoopering it
go.
so low.
There we go.
It's God punishing us for not being neutral enough on the Israel-Palestine
I wasn't
debate.
born on neutral planet. I didn't like this.
Anyway, I've been Jonathan Dwan,
I've been Brian Litt.
Special guest Ian Murphy.
and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.